Hello and welcome back. We did have some technical difficulties at the last video at the beginning, but it was actually a very emotionally draining video to do, and I really didn't feel like going through it again, and the meat of it was okay, so I hope you all understand and forgive me for the technical difficulties. Like I've said before, the PlayStation is rather an old one, and excuse me, we are just basically figuring it out as we go along. So, start with this next question. Let's take another. Let's look at our view here. So I'm thinking just go in order how we done it. That was the last one in the last video, but we will go with yes from the rear going forward. They make for a good change, I think, and they're pretty fun. So. I'm actually a little bit happy about this next question because it's pretty simple and straightforward question. So it's question number 5 on 50 questions Mormons can't answer. It is: since the Bible's test to determine whether someone is a true prophet of God is 100% accuracy in all his prophecies, Deuteronomy 18:20-22, has the LDS Church ever reconsidered its teachings that Joseph Smith and Brigham Young were true prophets? Now, the reason I say this one is easy is that the basic assumption, the basic assessment that this question makes, I don't believe has been proven. I think the person who wrote it thought the first 4 questions proved that Joseph Smith and Brigham Young were not prophets, that he completely disproved them with the first 4 questions. And I'd like to, excuse me, I'd like to think that my answer to those questions, at the very least, raised reasonable doubt as to, whether his assertion was true or not. You can go back and review the 4 questions if you'd like. 3 of them were statements made from Brigham Young's discourse, or Journal of Discourses, which, as I think I've said before, for the most part, was just his own personal opinion. He wasn't speaking as a prophet or, the leader of the church or anything like that. He was basically presenting his own opinion in most of those cases, and he was human too, like everyone else. Prophets, unless a prophet is specifically receiving revelation from God or speaking for the church, then they're just presenting their own opinion. And it's, excuse me, it's one of those things that I think modern people have forgotten about prophets, just because we basically, if you read the Bible, you have either the best of the prophets or the worst of the prophets. Prophets who did really, really bad things, or the prophets who did really, really good things. And that's all we have. We don't have their normal, giving a talk and just presenting their own opinion on things. So it is easy to forget that they are just normal people, normal human beings. So in the cases, in the 3 examples this guy gave in his previous questions, they were either taken out of context. Actually, I think all of them were taken out of context in one way or the other, or they were presented as actual church doctrine and not as the opinion of the prophet in question, of Brigham Young. The first one actually goes back to an actual prophecy from Joseph Smith. It's in Doctrine and Covenants 84, 1-5. I did, I think, cover that in that, and basically saying the prophecy was actually fulfilled, but not in the way that you may have expected, and certainly not in the way that the writer of these questions was interpreting. So, long story short, on number 5, the answer is no. No, because, because we do honestly believe that they were prophets and inspired of God. That is our belief. You really haven't, none of the things that has been said, at least in the first 4 things, really raise any reasonable doubt to think that they were prophets, at least for members of the church. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Basically, yeah, the person who wrote these questions has not proven his case, and I think this question is premature, I think would be the correct terminology. It's just, he hasn't proven it. He hasn't shown that they aren't prophets with his questions. So, yep, that's the answer. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. I kind of like that it's getting darker and gray, sort of raining outside in the game. Let me know what you think of this viewpoint, and like and subscribe if you liked it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.